Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is at the request of Patreon subscriber Chaznat. I am circling back to his Spellslinger Doomsday list. This is a deck I played a little over a month ago on the channel. The premise was 4 mana Morphoses and a Thassa's Oracle is a Doomsday pile. And then what can we do with that information? What other deck would want to play 4 mana Morphos in it? And the result was Rakdos Spellslinger. We've got Dragon's Rage Channeler, that likes when you cast spells. Electrostatic Infantry, which likes when you cast spells. This card, by the way, if you didn't watch the previous video, first of all, go check that out. I'll link it in the description. But also, this card was a surprise rockstar. Once this thing becomes 3/4, it's just the biggest cat on the block. Really hard to kill at that point. White removal gets it, but basically nothing else does. It tramples. It's quite a monster. And in a deck with Manamorphose and cheap cantrips and Dark Ritual, this thing gets pretty big pretty quick. Young Pyromancer is kind of the inside-out electrostatic infantry. Instead of going called, we're going wide, which was also pretty good in the previous league. This used to be a legacy staple, believe it or not, in the ancient times. Sheoldred the Bug Mother also enjoys when you cast cantrips, just shredding through your deck, gaining a bunch of life while killing your opponent. Sheoldred combos well with Dark Ritual, which also combos well with Doomsday. And by combos, I mean it casts the card. Also good with Dark Ritual, we've got Thoughtseize and Hymn to Tourach. You know I love a Hymn to Tourach on this channel. Speaking of Hymn to Tourach, an innovation since the last one is Tourach Dreadcantor. The initiative deck was not the hot thing that it is now a month ago when I did this the first time. And I wanted to include a protection from white creature in the deck. And turns out there's a really good one in these colors that also plays into the theme of the deck, which is disrupt and kill your opponent. Tourach Dreadcantor slid right in, great with Dark Ritual, great with the Thoughtseize and the Hymn, and just a sticky creature against the decks that are good against you. I mentioned Electrostatic Infantry. Once it becomes 3/4, it takes white removal to kill it. White removal doesn't kill Tourach. Coming at you from a variety of directions here. Dothy Voidwalker, just a solid playable legacy rate Magic card. A lot of decks are using their graveyards, both fair and unfair. And when you can accelerate it with a Dark Ritual, maybe protect it with a Thoughtseize, life gets pretty good. A change from the last list is there are 2 Expedites in the deck now. These slots last time were an Overmaster, which it turns out we just don't have any cards that we need to shove through with Overmaster. Overmastering a Doomsday sounds like it makes sense, but then you have no way to protect your Doomsday pile after that. Like, you shove through the Doomsday, then they counter the Manamorphose, and you're in the same spot. Overmaster didn't make any sense, but there were multiple spots last game where drawing a creature and then being able to crunch with it in the same turn would have been great. So Expedite gets the Overmaster slot, and I replaced a Mishra's Bauble with it. Bauble is excellent with Dragon's Rage Channeler, but Expedite is better with Electrostatic Infantry and Young Pyromancer. I'm just making a nod in the red cantrip direction with this build. Also, Cavern of Souls removed from the deck, replaced with an Underground Sea. I had to mulligan at least one time last league because Cavern of Souls was in my opening hand. The creature types don't overlap enough for that card to be worth putting in your deck. It's pretty cool to have in the Doomsday pile to get your Oracle through, but if it's just in your opening hand, especially in this 18 land deck, what are you going to do? Name Human? Cast your Dragon's Rage Channeler, then not be able to cast any other spell for the rest of the game? No thanks. Just normal lands now. I'll point out again the same thing I pointed out last time, which is this deck does not cantrip in the traditional way that a Delver deck would, even though this looks kind of Delvery in a lot of ways. There's no Ponder, no Brainstorm. You're relying on Mishra's Bauble, Expedite, Manamorphose, and Dragon's Rage Channeler Surveils to get that effect, which is a much worse way to do that. There's no traditional interaction here. And we do have discard. We have the best discard spells ever printed in our deck, but we don't have Daze, Force of Will, anything like that. Lightning Bolt is our only removal spell. Any big creature we're just going to have to get through the hard way or combo over top of. But I was impressed last time with how hard this deck hits, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for opponents. Like, if you get someone with a tasty Hymn to Tourach and back it up with a threat, it does close pretty quickly. And you're constantly threatening Doomsday out of nowhere, which people may or may not expect after you play Dragon's Rage Channeler and Dauthi Voidwalker. Coming from a lot of angles here. Sideboard is all just legacy Magic cards you'd expect. Some non-red removal. I mentioned Lightning Bolt being our only removal as a potential weakness of the deck. A buttload of Pyroblasts. Meltdown for the Chalice of the Void, especially. Fury for those creature decks. And I had 2 Plague Engineers in the last build, but now it's 1 Plague Engineer and a second Tourach. I think Tourach is pretty good. It might be worth 2 main deck slots, but I'm going to let it ride right now in the sideboard. And then a bunch of Surgicals, because it takes at least 1 turn to get Dauthi Voidwalker into play. Against the super fast graveyard combo decks, we have Thoughtseize, we have Dark Ritual to accelerate our Voidwalker, but both of those require us to get a turn or 2 to make it happen. Surgical, of course, closes that gap on turn 0 interaction in our deck without Force of Will. There was a little bit of conversation with Chaznat about optimizing the fetch lands to play around Pithing Needle a little bit, because we are just 4 and 4. But I think it's important that every fetch land get every land in the deck. Scalding Tarn doesn't get Swamp. Verdant Catacombs doesn't get Volcanic Island. We have all 8 copies of the ones that can get all the lands in the deck, and I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't think this 18 land deck without a real cantrip suite gets to be cute with its mana base. And there it is. Let's go light people up. I'm on the draw in round 1. This hand kind of sucks. 4 is a lot of lands. I talked at length in the deck about how this is an 18 land deck, and this is too many. This Dark Ritual isn't currently paying anything out. I could Dragon's Rage Channeler and use Lightning Bolt for selection, but that's not really how I want to live my life. The counter argument is, do I mulligan a quasi-functional lands and spells hand without knowing what my opponent's doing? I'll keep this one. Dark Ritual does give me a lot of upside. If I draw a Doomsday or a Hymn to Tourach, I just get to party. Verdant Catacombs from the opponent. Not a common land to be seen in the Legacy format. Okay. Well, combo elves. We'll be lightning bolting this creature. Alternatively, I could put my Dragon's Rage Channeler into play, lightning bolt next turn, and try to get something going here. I'm going to do it that way. Quirion Ranger isn't mega scary until they have a mana-producing creature to untap with it. I could have kept a 1-lander on the strength of Quirion Ranger and tap their forest for green, cast a spell, bounce their forest. Okay, that's not what happened. Yavimaya is interesting. Now Gaia's Cradle is a forest that they can bounce and replay. I could Lightning Bolt first and get the card selection, or I could draw and see what happens. I think I'm going to Lightning Bolt in the upkeep. I'm likely to just do this turn anyway. Ooh. I'll keep that one on top. Hard to argue with Lightning Bolt against elves. I'm not going to bolt this Visionary, though. Wonder if I was supposed to fetch on turn 1. I just played the bad lands. Probably supposed to fetch and just start thinning my deck out of lands. Okay, now I want to bolt Elvish Visionary because they have the best friends crew together. I don't want this opponent drawing cards against me. Add lands into the graveyard. Now we're in trouble mode. If I don't find like Hymn to Tourach or something to both juice up this DRC and slow down my opponent quickly, I'm in trouble. Shepherd and Cradle. Another Shepherd. And Birchler Ranger. Opponent is Hellbent, but they can activate their Shepherd this turn, and they have 2 of them. All of that is distressing and concerning. Am I just dead? I can block with Channeler. They are attacking for 16 this turn. So I have to play this Voidwalker. Yeah, this didn't really
get off the ground. I'm attacking. If I can get them into a block this turn, that's a creature they don't have both for Cradle and for Shepherd, but obviously they didn't fall for it. Now they just get to mush for 1,000,000. Dothy Voidwalker can't block. And here is the pump, and I take 16. Almost certainly dead here. I don't even think I have a draw that could get me out of this. Bug Mother, so close. He did that a couple turns ago. Okay, that showcased my deck isn't traditionally cantrippy or traditionally interactive problems, but now we get to sideboard. Fatal Push, Fury, and Plague Engineer all coming in. Doomsday is probably worth keeping in against this deck. I like the Dark Ritual. I don't like Tourach necessarily. Like, an Expedite's kind of medium. Elves is not a deck known for its removal suite. And I always treat Mishra's Bauble as a flex slot. Kind of hard to get Delirium without Mishra's Bauble in the deck. But I think that's okay compared to all the cards we're bringing in. In we go. On the play, this hand is way hotter. I'm going to keep. And I'm going to lead on Dragon's Rage Channeler. And then I can decide if I want a Dark Ritual Fatal Push him to Tourach next turn, or jam the Bug Mother. Could leading on Volcanic Island hurt me? Yeah, I think I just want to get a Badlands. This hand is super black heavy. Trying to think of what the punish is if I just play Volcanic Island. I'm not sure, honestly. Not gonna lie. And I can't cast him to Tourach with the Volcanic Island. I will need another land to do that. Or use the Dark Ritual on it. Okay, Dark Ritual is now in my hand. I could jam Sheoldred and hope I'm alive. They can't really glimpse with Sheoldred in play. And then I can... So I can Dark Ritual him to Tourach Fatal Push. Put them way behind. But then Sheoldred's miles away. I could Dark Ritual Sheoldred and then him to Tourach or Fatal Push next turn, but this Volcanic Island's kind of cramping my style. If I find a Black Source on top, I can do all of it next turn. I'm going to Sheoldred. Dark Ritual's on the stack. I get a Surveil. ERC into the graveyard. Dark Ritual happens. Cast Sheoldred. And I will offer this trade. I don't think they'll take it, but I'd happily sinkhole my opponent right now. They want to get in the dirt with me. Sheoldred triggers. Sheoldred makes glimpse lines kind of risky. Metal Sentinel. Virtual Arranger. Okay, they have the single repeatable mana machine gun online here. So you tap Virtual Arranger and Nettle Sentinel for a mana, and if you cast a green spell, it untaps Nettle Sentinel. If that green spell was an elf, you could tap that elf and Nettle Sentinel for another green. You could basically dump their hand of green 1-drops right now, as long as they're elves. There's the Cradle, which is always the fear. Heritage Druid. Okay. Am I just getting natural ordered right now? Show it to me. Put me in the dirt. We might be experiencing a bit of fuck around and find out right now. If I had Fatal Push plus him to Tourach, then this can't happen. And maybe their hand is non-functional. What the fuck? Fights up to one target creature you don't control. Sheoldred has Death Touch. Alright, at least that's dead. Okay. Well, Sheoldred's Death Touch coming in clutch there. 10/10 fights a creature. Whenever it's dealt damage, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. Alright, well, it was already dead, so get out of here, I guess. I'm gonna draw. Young Pyromancer is interesting. I could just get my opponent's hand empty right now, force them into top deck mode. It's gotta be the play. I'm to Tourach you. Swamp. Do I want the swamp anymore? I don't think so. I wanted it this turn, not next turn. Symbiote and Glimpse just hit the graveyard. And I am now delirious. Let's race. Next turn I can Young Peasy plus Fatal Push. But I hope my opponent doesn't rip Natural Order right now. If this Altasaur fought DRC first, I would have no board right now. Fights target creature on ETB, and whenever it's dealt damage, it fights another creature. Yeah, they either forgot Sheoldred had this Death Touch, or just didn't realize how this works. I don't know. Shepherd's a good draw. I can kill it, though. But they get to attack for 5 first. Young Pyromancer get in. And I am going to push the Shepherd. That's the thing that's actually killing me right now. An Elemental, Thoughtseize, not what I'm looking for at this stage of the game. Opponent's got tons of mana, but no cards. Shepherds are good, Zeniths are good, Natural Orders are good. But otherwise, board is pretty well gummed up. Oh, someday. If they have Endurance, I lose. I guess that's fine. And I would even trade Young Pyromancer for any of these things here. They're on low resources. They need resources more than I do. Just an unblockable, can't block creature. And if I draw a red card before I lose, then I can't lose anymore. They're also just dead on board. They gotta win right now. All right, cool. Little risky there. They also made a slight mistake. But, you know, never punished. Classic BoshNRoll. I fucked around and I didn't find out. Nothing changes about the sideboard here. I'm just going right back in. Oh, this hand. We got the full house, but no lands. This hand would be nutters with a single Badlands. Send it. My opponent's also on 6. I have Thoughtseize and Fury in my hand, my god. Alright, keep this. I think I send Voidwalker. That just doesn't block in the matchup. Is a problem. They're also not really a graveyard deck in any important way. Metal Sentinel. I'm going to use Thoughtseize to make sure I survived a turn 2. I'm going to make dumping out to the board look enticing and then just mop it. Thoughtseize you. Glimpse of Nature. Visionary. Well, I'm taking the Glimpse. Hand's pretty reasonable, though. Take my 2 from Visionary. You attack before you cast spells, because Metal Sentinel doesn't untap on its own. Here's the Cradle and the Viz. I think I'd rather have Infantry in play than DRC right away. I'm going to fetch a Badlands. The Infantry. I'm just going to Fury here. I'm not interested in the fuck around and find out game. Just kill your board, turn off Gaia's Cradle. Now I need to draw some spells. I'm set up. This is the board state I wanted. Now I need, Manamorphose as a heater. There's Visionary. Manamorphose off the top. Lightning Bolt. Doomsday. That one works. I'm going to cast Doomsday. Let's go. Which grows Electrostatic Infantry. And then the cards I'm interested in, probably just make the Manamorphose pile here. Morphos, 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 Oracle. I draw Manamorphose, and then I cast them all, and then I win. Oracle on the bottom, then all 4 Manamorphose on top of it. And I'm actually not going to attack. Having the win set up next turn, I'm not winning through damage here. Having a 2/3 blocker might be relevant. I didn't give them any reason. Oh, never mind. Dragon's Rage Channeler. So they might have Endurance in their deck. I was about to say I didn't give them any reason to play Endurance, but DRC is always soft to Endurance. There's a Shepherd. That's one of the things that can burst damage, which is why I left the blocker back. It's still only 5, even if they can get up to 6 and pump the Visionary. But it's still a concern. 1, 2, 3 mana right now. If they have land Natural Order for Hoof, they win. 3 in the pool. Zenith for 2. Get Collector Roof. Please think that matters. I don't know. Visionary, just looking for the redraw. Bright Arbor, 2 cards in hand. It has to be green card Endurance for them to win. Okay, let's morph. Build Mighty Morphin Manamorphose. Red-black. Manamorphose. Red-black. Manamorphose. There's one more to go. Red-black. Manamorphose. This one has to make blue-blue. And here's my Oracle. Does it work? We did it! Damage win, Doomsday win. The deck has already performed, and we got a 6-7 hanging out just in case. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 2 against username For God's Sake, which is a permanent mood while playing Magic. Great choice, opponent. I got a mulligan this one. 5 lands, turn 2 Hymn to Tourach on the draw. My opponent could have 3 Delver of Secrets in play by the time I cast this thing, and then it doesn't even matter. I gotta send this. If this Expedite was DRC, I'd be in. If any of these lands at random were just some creature, but I gotta send this one. All right. This is what I'm talking about. Keep this one, send one of the Dark Rituals. I don't think that's a card I need 2 of in the average game of Magic. Chrome Mox. Uh-oh. What flavor are you? Black. Oh, it's Infernal Tutor, so this is the Epic Storm. Or no, not the Epic Storm. The other Storm. Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Epic Storm does not play Infernal Tutor. Okay, we are Infernal Tutoring for Cabal Writs. This is going to be a pretty good hand to jam Dark Ritual on. Oh, he's off the top. Another Dark Ritual. Moto Bug. Okay. I am going to show them who the Dark Ritual deck really is. I'm to Tourach you. This only gets half their hand. May or may not be any good. We hit Wishclaw Talisman. That's probably great. They have Cabal Ritual and 1 mystery card left over there. Let's hope they needed that Wishclaw. Oh, Ancient Tomb? Oh, this is Peta Storm. Here into the Abyss. Okay. This deck can kill me from 2 life if it wants to. I'm gonna drop my DRC and start applying pressure, I hope. Uh-oh. Ouch. My thoughts. I'm gonna lose the Manamorphose for sure. I was hoping to do something crazy next turn with that. I'm gonna fetch a Blood Crypt now while it doesn't matter. And drew the other one. Good stuff. Attack for 1. Begin the pressure. Still playing out my fetch land. I don't want to draw lands. Let's get rid of them. However I can. I need another threat or another discard spell to feel good about this game. The longer I give them, and just poking for 1 a turn isn't meaningfully changing the speed of this game. Opponent, after thought seizing me, said, "Oh boy, can't wait for this video." Hell yeah. I think I want the Volcanic Island. Or it doesn't matter, right? No, it doesn't matter. I'll just keep getting bad lands. I don't actually have any blue cards in my deck. Oh, that was a reasonable draw. I could Dark Ritual it out and save 2 life, and also get a Surveil. You can't peer into the Abyss with Children in play. Probably going to be a game winner. I actually am going to get the card selection and try to spike on Delirium. There is not a creature in my graveyard currently. Yeah, let's get Delirium. And Bug Mother. We just went from anemic beats to you're dead very quickly. And if they are Peer Storm, like I suspect that they are, then their namesake card doesn't work. They draw half their deck, then lose 2 life for each card. Mind's Eye Diamond. We know Cabal Ritual, and there's 1 mystery card over there. It's the Cabal Writ. Or 5 mana available. We're nosing from 10. Okay. 3 black in the pool. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. I don't know what the hell's going on right now. We see a Duress, a Grim Monolith, Dark Ritual, Shadow Spear, Urza Saga. What is happening? Burning Wish. Did they get there? Did they have enough Storm? Storm is what? 1, 2, 3 right now? 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't Thoughtseize. They still have to keep flipping. Oh, the Mox Opal, I think, gets them there. Bummer. Yeah, they have enough to Tendrils now. Oh, that was so close. 1 turn of beats away. A Grim Monolith. Maybe this is just some sort of turbo Naz deck. Like, you play all 4 ad Nazes and then just go crazy with artifacts. Is this a Tony Scapone production? I don't know what's going on right now. I've never seen this particular flavor of Storm before. And the Urza Saga is really weird. Yeah, Duress gets them to Storm 8. Burning Wishes 9. And the Mox Opal was the red mana. That's what they were missing before that. Yep, and then Lion's Eye Diamond or Grim Monolith both get them to the Tendrils. Close call. That was a tight game. Do I think Surgical Extraction matters? I suspect Meltdown does matter. If they ever have to pass the turn, I'm just in on Meltdown. Tourach is more discard. They did use their graveyard kind of with Cabal Ritual, but it didn't seem really essential. But they are Rakdos, so they might have Past in Flames in the mix somewhere. Like Expedite's getting the cut again. Mishra's Bauble's getting the cut again. But why is there a Fury in my deck? That just got caught up in the Meltdown grab. Okay, Meltdown, Tourach. I don't think I want Surgical. I don't want Fatal Push. Plague Engineer could be an out to Goblins if they go Goblins on me. Didn't see any blue cards to Pyroblast. I could cut the Plague Engineer and forget about the Goblins, bring in Expedite. But if they do like a medium size, get under discard kind of thing, then I want some out to that. I'm going in. On the play with the Stone Nuts, I'm going to keep. Dark Ritual of Thoughtseize Hymn to Tourach is one of my favorite things to do in Magic the Gathering. If you're playing against a blue deck with this sequence, using Thoughtseize can help guarantee that your Hymn resolves. But if you're playing against decks that aren't going to interact with this sequence anyway, you want a Hymn first, and then you have better information to Thoughtseize with, because the Hymn is random and the Thoughtseize isn't. Hit Chromox and Urza Saga, and Mox Opal Grim Monolith. Okay, their hand is currently non-functional. If they find a land, they get to unlock. I could just take the Grim Monolith, and then they're never getting Metalcraft. Yeah, I'm taking Grim Monolith. Let's party. There's a good chance I'll be Hellbent at the end of next turn, so I'm not even worried about the Thoughtseize. Oh, they drew the land immediately. Sure. Thoughtseize takes one of the DRCs. Mox Opal's in play. Yeah, to play around my discard effects, they have to give up on later Storm by playing out the Opal. I'm already delirious. Good stuff. Thanks for that Thoughtseize, by the way. Needed it. LED. Okay, that gets them closer to Mox Opal. They still can't cast any spells in their hand. I'm going to Manamorphose, or I should fetch first. I'm going to fetch and then Manamorphose. The cool thing about Manamorphose into Dragon's Rage Channeler is you get to draw the card right away. Ooh, do I want this? I think I do. Top of the library. I'll take it. It cuts down the clock. I'm in. Makes my spells more dangerous. Let's do it. Opponent's at 15. And they pass the turn without a play. Voidwalker. Love that. It'll keep that Cabal Ritual from becoming Threshold. It'll also stop any Past in Flames lines if they have them. It also is a 3-power creature against their Ad Nauseam deck. We're just hugging the wall here and hoping that the storm goes past us. Literally. Haven't drawn a spell yet. Opponent's at 4. It would be tough to Nause from here, but they can peer from here. If they get it. If they somehow can cast it. Uh-oh. Urza Saga is in play. This gets the Cabal Ritual off the ground. They can, at the least... I guess they can't even mini tendrils with what they have. They would need another mana source. Okay. That works. Now they can at least mini tendrils. That's still not true. Oh yeah, it is, because Opal taps for black. Yeah, they can tendrils just to stay alive here. Yeah, that's what they're doing. It's just tendrils for 6 life. A reasonable play. Might as well. Buys you time to get into this Urza Saga, which is very exciting to me. Urza Saga in a Storm deck. I'm going to fetch the last Blood Crypt while we're hanging out here. Going from 10 to 9 doesn't change the Storm count it takes to kill me. Oh, can I do something clever here? I can attack for... I can play Electrostatic Infantry. And then Storm is 1. I can tendrils them for 4, puts them to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can put them to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I cast their tendrils, it ends up back in their graveyard. I don't know if that's helpful or not. Because tendrils Does 4. It triggers the infantry and the DRC. I think I'd rather keep the Graveyard Hate around. It doesn't change the clock. It would change their ability to crack a fetch land, I guess. Okay, we did it. The Dark Ritual Hymn to Tourach on turn 1 somehow made it through. Okay, I already had Meltdown in. That's lucky that the Urza Saga overlaps with the artifact stuff we already saw, so I don't need to change anything about that. And I think we're just going back in with the same deck. Not getting any better. Dark Ritual Hymn to Tourach. Set me up. Do it. Opponent is also a Thoughtseize Duress deck, and they're on the play, so I might not be able to cast this hymn, but it is the best card I have in my deck for this matchup. Opponent also kept 7. Scary stuff. I might not get a turn. I don't actually have the ability to interact on turn 0 in a meaningful way. They pitched a Thoughtseize and cast a Thoughtseize. Down to 4 cards in hand. They gotta take the hymn. Yeah. Ancient Tomb. Lotus Petal. Uh-oh, am I dead? LED. I might be dead. What can they do with 3 mana right now? I don't know. I guess I'm just playing Polluted Delta and passing the turn. I don't want to play a tapped Blood Crypt, because if they ad nauseum, I want them to have to respect this Lightning Bolt. Something's happening. Burning Wish. Oh, bummer. They are going goblins. I was right. I'm glad I have the Plague Engineer in there somewhere. Oh, they got Echo. All right. Maybe that's better for me. Okay. Yeah, they made black with LED. You need blue. Right. Okay, I have an important decision to make here. I can Lightning Bolt them and maybe soften up an ad nauseum. Or I could not, because that builds Storm. But I think if they're echoing, I'm probably just in trouble to Storm anyway. And a Badlands Lightning Bolt. Soften up those ad nauses. All right, let's flip. Well, that's a Shouldered if we get there. A lot of damage in my hand, but that's all it is. Blue in the pool. Urza Saga's land for turn. Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Can have that card. LED. I don't like that one as much. Okay. They've passed phases burning off their extra mana, which makes me think they don't have anything else to do. Oh no, Thoughtseize. And I like casting Thoughtseize, but I really like having Shouldered in play. Can Shouldered beat Urza Saga heads up if I bother Thoughtseizing this turn? I think I have to seize here. All Ritual and 3 lands. That was not a good echo. Okay, my plan is to burn them out with Lightning Bolt and Shouldered. Here's the second Saga. You're Thoughtseizing me? No! That was such a good draw. All right, bye Shouldered. I love you. But by Thoughtseizing me, they have to take 2 to activate their Urza Saga, which puts them to 9, which 3 bolts is lethal for. Yeah, this game is actually extremely interesting at this moment right now. Do I want to Manamorphose and commit the double Lightning Bolt now? I guess I don't have to commit both. I can add lands, Manamorphose, or red-black. Black-red. Disappointing. All right. Should have committed to the red-red line. I can't play Dragon's Rage Channeler now, because if I do that, then they get to tap Ancient Tomb, and then they can get Shadow Spear, and then I can never win. They could sack LED, go Hellbent, make the Construct. Oh yeah, that actually probably just beats me if they do that. And I have to bolt the Construct while they have 3 artifacts in play. Ooh, awkward. Yeah, they actually do have a perfectly fine line here. Those 2 lands in their hand aren't really changing the game anyway. They sack LED, make Construct, and they float with their Saga, Tutor, Shadow Spear, then this thing's a 4/4. Yeah, if I had committed to the red-red off Manamorphose, but there's so many black cards in my deck. Okay, they didn't take the LED line. Let's see if they even make constructs or if there's some combo version. Okay, construct confirmed. As a 4/4. You can get Shadow Spear now and then stabilize next turn if Shadow Spear is still in the deck, which I imagine it is. Yep. Okay. Dangerous moves here. Oh, that Manamorphose is going to haunt me. If I have DRC in play, I just win. Come on, Meltdown. Meltdown. Rock Dread Cantor. They do have 2 cards in their hand. Rock is a sizable animal. They'll have 5, 6, 7. They'll gain 8 off this construct hit. A blowout. Do I have to Tourach here and try to race? They gain 8, they go to 13. I attack for 4. I can DRC and Tourach this turn, get some card selection. Okay. Channeler, get in. A Meltdown still wins the game for me. Dark Ritual. Show me Meltdown. Infantry, too late for you. Dark Ritual. Tourach, Con Queso. They could sack LED in response so Tourach doesn't grow. But then they lose LED. Oh, there was a Burning Wish over there. Cool. Yeah, their hand had changed since the last time I assessed it. Right, they're going to get a big Shadow Spear connection in, but they have to tap Ancient Tomb if they want to make a construct and get Shadow Spear. Or no, they don't. They can upkeep LED to activate Urza Saga, unless they're still saving this LED for something. They didn't upkeep LED. So that means they have to commit the Ancient Tomb to get to attack for 8 lifelink here. Oh, 9 lifelink. They drew an artifact. 9 puts them to 12. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait, did I miscount somewhere? Oh, the Shadow Spear also gives +1. I think that's what I missed. Okay, so to win this game, I have to draw Meltdown, which means I have to Lightning Bolt in the upkeep just for the 1 extra selection worth of card. And hope that Meltdown is one of my top 2 cards. Ooh. They popped LED. Why? They're going to draw with Soul Guide? Oh, they're moving. All right, yeah. That makes sense on defense, sure. Okay. All right, deck. Top 2 cards as a Meltdown. Give it to me. Bolt your face. DRC trigger. Badlands into the graveyard. Moment of truth. Meltdown. Oh, Dragon's Rage Channeler. GG's. Here's a Saga plan. Came in clutch in the final game. That was awesome. On to the next one.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
On the draw for round 3, a cursed die roll. 3 in a row with my tempo deck. I'm going to keep this, though. The Thoughtseize Doomsday line is there. I could pivot onto Young Peasy if that seems appropriate. Mountain Go. Are you Painter? Are you Burn? Either way, I'm fetching Badlands and taking a peek. Okay, it is Painter. Pyroblast and Red Blast. Actually concerning on the Doomsday line. Let's pace this out. If I take Pyro and I take Reb on the next 2 turns, then I cast Doomsday. That's a turn 4 win that still loses to Pyroblast or Red Blast. I'm just taking the Engineer. Maybe they won't find the mana to even get these Fables off the ground. That's my plan. Here's the Mountain. We knew about that one. Ooh, that's actually really good. Got the Voidwalker. This is a graveyard deck of sorts. Mystery Land Drop and concede. Mystery Land Drop. Yeah. They did miss the land drop. I'm going to Young Pyromancer and Thoughtseize here. Let's have a peek. 3rd Pyro. Oh my god. There's not even a term for this in poker because you don't get this many cards. I will take one of the many Fables. And casting Fables actually kind of sweet, but them being a graveyard deck and me being ahead on this plan, I'm going for it. Bummer. Okay, this unlocks Fable. If I draw Manamorphose, I can actually win right now. Just Manamorphose off the top is a immediate Doomsday kill. Manamorphose. Blood Crypt. Okay. What happens if I Doomsday? Nothing good. And I could just Doomsday the old-fashioned way and just set up a bunch of good cards and try to win with them. But then my opponent, all they have to do is survive that barrage, and then they're fine. I am currently debating if I want a Fable of the Mirror Breaker or not. I think I do. Because with the Doomsday, does Fable get better? Actually, I'm going to cast that Fable. Get that in there. Now I also have a Goblin, play Polluted Delta, and pass the turn. Do I think they'll block Young Pyromancer? I actually would like it if they do. I'm going to offer this trade. Cool. All right, damage is through. I suspected it would be. I imagine they'll discard 2 Pyroblasts here. A Pyroblast, Red Blast gone. They don't know what I have in store for them. There is still 1 in the hand. If they attack with Goblin and play Fable. Oh. I'm getting Furied. Well, that sucks. Pitching Pyroblast, though. Alright, that could have been worse. And I lose my entire board, but I am back on Manamorphos's lethal. All the Pyroblasts I knew about are gone. Here's another Fable. So in the end step, do I want to fetch or do I need this fetch for my Doomsday pile? If I leave a land in the Doomsday pile, then I can Manamorphose from hand, draw my cards, fetch my last card. Alright, yeah. Drawing for turn, then I get a Fable trigger. I discard Blood Crypt and Underground Sea. Just gotta find a Manamorphose here. Lightning Bolt, Infantry, bummer. Not what I wanted. If I Morphose right now, or if I Doomsday right now, I go to 6. I could have a pretty cool turn right now, actually. Yeah, let's fucking go. They have unloaded all of their Pyroblasts. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Electrostatic Infantry, and then I'm gonna Dark Ritual Doomsday. Dark Ritual Doomsday. And can I afford to put a Thoughtseize in the pile? I don't think so. It has to be Oracle. Alright, I'm just making the pile and hoping they don't have a 4th Pyroblast. And I'll pass the turn. They do get another turn's worth of Fable activation here. Flipped into Kiki-Jiki. Saga ticks up. Discarded Fury and Welder. I'm not going to die to Lightning Bolt here, so I'm going to bolt one of their goblins before combat. Okay. Moment of truth, I guess. We're spending mana. There's Painter. Can't Grindstone from here. 1 card left. Alright, hope it's not a Pyroblast. Get a Kiki-Jiki. Let's go. Manamorphose. 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 And did you draw a Pyroblast? We're in there. Alright! A Doomsday kill! We've already had twice as many Doomsday kills this game as we did in the last league. Or this league than we did in the last one. Okay, Meltdown. Fatal Push. All good stuff. I think I actually want to get off Doomsday, even though it won that game. Because if seeing that Thassa's Oracle makes them leave even a single Pyroblast in the deck, and it combos with Painter anyway, so they got that going for them. But I'm still... I don't want to give them any natural blue cards to mess with. Plague Engineer and Goblin is solid against their deck. Surgical Extraction has text, but Dauthi Voidwalker is already in my deck. Manamorphose is less important without Doomsday in the deck, but I think I'm going to shave an Expedite and leave my baubles in. Oh, Tourach might be worse than Expedite. Yeah, I'll do it this way. Oh, Fury is really good. I need to find room for my Furies. Duh. I think that's the Expedite and maybe one of the baubles. Okay, let's go. I can bolt their 1-drop and then cast Sheoldred. I'm in. When I kept 6. Great Furnace, Goblin Welder. Voidwalker, what's up? Use a Bloodstained Mire first because I have 2 of them, and this deck probably has Spinning Needle in it. I can't just zap this Welder, or I could wait, because if I get Voidwalker down before Welder is active, then it might not matter. But they're a Lightning Bolt deck. My Voidwalker's not going to stick forever. I'll just bolt. Great Furnace, Lotus Petal, Fabling. We're in the Fable. I think it's Sheoldred time. There she is. That'll punish any aggressive digging with Fable. I now have the biggest creature on the board by a lot. Would you like to take damage? I mean, at 18 life, they got plenty to work with here. So discarding Phyrexian Dragon Engine. That also says draw cards on it. Inner. Uh-oh, am I dead? It just Pyroblast Sheoldred with the 1 card in hand. Disappointed. Okay, time for Dothy Voidwalker to do its job. Dragon Engine costs 5 to unearth. 3 card types in my graveyard. DRC and Voidwalker, get after it. I need something to swing the damage race here. A Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push. Cannot block these creatures. I can. I'm not going to. I could hardcast Fury. Maybe they didn't draw that one, though. That would be great. Lightning Bolt my Voidwalker. Bummer. Solid draw. I have another one. I am not so slowly losing this game, though. And without the eject button of Doomsday, we're just getting outground. God, you drew Fury. You drew Lightning Bolt and then Fury. Oh no, this was the Dragon Engine. That's fair. That's also really good. Refresh cards to the hand. Yeah, we've lost this one. Went all in on the Sheoldred, which they had the Painter Pyro for. Dragon Engine also has double strike. I'm just taking 6 here. Meltdown doesn't even get me out of this because Reflection and Goblin Shaman are winning the game without that. Unfortunately, I don't have a spell to get Surprise Delirium and eat the Goblin with. Fury's a great draw here. Uh-oh, they're spending mana. Of Amethyst. Yeah, Fury. That makes Fury a really good draw. There's a creature last time I checked. I fetch one of my Blood Crypts. And then I'm going to draw Fury, right? Fury? 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 That is not Fury. That is Electrostatic Infantry, which is unaffected by Thorn of Amethyst. Checkmate. Might as well attack. Can't block. They've got 5 damage on the board. Not dead yet. Oh, there's a Lightning Bolt in under the Void from the last Voidwalker that I forgot about. That would have been sick. Shit. Yeah, that attack was actually really bad because I could have Lightning Bolted one of these things, triggered both of my other guys. Yeah, questionable. They're copying their Gobbo. You get some treasures here. They're only putting me to 2. All right, attacking with Painter doesn't matter because I have Infantry. Goblin Engineer sets up the win for next turn. Oh, they didn't. Oh, right. No, it doesn't because I have Voidwalker in play. Okay, I'm going to fetch to 1. Put Blood Crypt into play. Goblin goes into exile. Going to 13. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to draw him to Tourach. That is a spell I can cast. Maybe there's Fury in their hand. That would be weird to have Fury and not use it, but what you got over there? I'll at least take some triggers. Swamp into the graveyard, and Goblin Engineer into the Void. I'm at 1. They have 3 attackers, or they have 4 attackers, and I have 1 removal spell. And DRC has to attack because I'm now suddenly delirious. All right, I put a sorcery in the graveyard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I can't kill them here. Yeah, forgetting I had Lightning Bolt under the Voidwalker last turn might have been bad, but their hand was double graveyard spell. Upbeats. All right, we get a game on the play now. All my discards in, my removals in. To rock something I want. If this game gets grindy, having this creature is worth something. I don't think so. Yeah, I like what's going on already. Same deck, let's go. No Doomsdays. Got the Meltdown this time. Keep this hand. I drop my Channeler and work my way up the curve here. Headlands, Channeler. Rhinestones in play? Sure. Infantry. Is Infantry better than Young Pyro? Probably not. I don't know. It's close. Trample matters. How bad does getting basic Swamp here punish me? They sometimes have Magus of the Moon in these decks. I already have a red source, and if they moon me, I'll have more. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going with infantry. I can melt down for 2 next turn if it comes to that. I'd love to find Thoughtseize. That's a good card. If I can Young Peasy Thoughtseize, trigger all my stuff. That's a good turn. Fetching the basic swamp keeps me from double spelling meaningfully. Able. Okay, that's 1, 2. Oh, geez. Fury pitching Blood Moon. Okay, they did have Blood Moon. At least I'm not crazy for playing around that. If they have a Painter, I lose this turn. I'm going to put Young Pyro in front of Goblin. If they don't have Painter right now and the land drop, then this meltdown's only getting better. But if they do, I lose. I think I'm willing to take that risk. Discarded the Phyrexian Dragon Engine and a Mountain. They do have the mana to win with Painter right now if they have Painter. Okay, yeah, you got me. All right, GG. Maybe if they hadn't Furied me, I would melt down just 1-for-1 on the Grindstone and trigger all my stuff. But this Urza Saga, just waiting in the wings, I can't really beat that without the meltdown. Yeah, Painter just puts too many squeezes on this hand that I had. I needed a Thoughtseize earlier than I interacted. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw, yet again. 4 for 4 on die rolls. I'm going to keep this hand, though. It has Dark Ritual, Voidwalker, Thoughtseize. Let's hope this is a deck that is susceptible to that sort of thing. Uh-oh. From Mox. What color are you? Tell me more. Black. Wait. What? Where did this deck come from? Another... Did Tony just release a new video, or did someone do well in the challenge this weekend? Why would I play against this deck twice in a league when I've never seen it before? Weird shit. Took the Thoughtseize. Now they know they're free to do whatever they want. And what they want to do is pass the turn for another Dark Ritual. My choices here are play DRC and try to get extra additional value, but I think that's greedy, and I should just put in the potentially disruptive object that I have. You are free to go nuts, but you can't use your graveyard to do it. Ball Therapy. Okay. I have 4 different cards in my hand. DRC's gone. Good call. That's the one I could cast. But now I can Therapy you, which is pretty good with all the various cards in my deck. I'm just going to cast Young Peasy, though. I'm not going to give up my only clock to blind Therapy my opponent. Don't think that's the way. All right, Duress takes the Dark Ritual. You got it. If I got the flashback on Cabal Therapy, I'd be more interested in casting it, but my opponent gets the flashback. Another unblockable creature. I am coming for your life total aggressively and furiously. Opponent's at 10. I can put them to 2 this turn. If they draw a mana source for this saga, I might be in trouble. Okay. Yeah, if they had to use Lotus Petal to activate Saga, then their token's too small to do anything. Ooh, okay. Manamorphose. I'm going to make red-black. Black-red. Thoughtseize. Do I think Thoughtseize is a card that's going to be helpful here? Or should I just play my infantry? I'm just going to infantry. I attack for 6. They can't make a construct and equip with Shadow Spear. Just have to get Shadow Spear, then equip it. Or I just die to some combo right now. But Lion's Eye Diamond would probably be the thing they get out of this if they're trying to combo. They made a second construct. If they're holding a mana source to equip, that makes sense. Okay. Alright. So you get to attack me for 7. You sack... Oh, wow. Alright, it's 8. So Dark Ritual is the last card in hand. You attack me for 8. You have 8 lifelink coming in. What's... I could play my own Urza Saga if I think that's helpful. This is a bad spot. This Urza Saga is just beating me. Heads up. And if I attack with everything, I just lose. Oh yeah, I'm just dead. Nothing to do here. Okay, I'm attacking. I don't have time to play their Urza Saga ticket up. They have way more artifacts than me anyway. Opponent's back to 6 for now. I guess if they make a wild attack with their non-trampling construct, maybe I can get around it with a flurry of spells. They're going to 14 here. Yeah, and they're leaving back their blocker. Hate that. They need to string together a bunch of Manamorphoses. Alright, just dead. Bummer. It's feeling good about that. The multiple mana sources off the top there at the end was a tough beat. Meltdown coming in. No, I didn't bring in Fatal Push against this deck last time, but I've also lost the games that I've lost to this deck to Construct Beatdown. I do like having Doomsday. They haven't seen that yet. Expedite and Bauble can get shaved. I brought in Plague Engineer last time. I don't think I want to do it that way. Not on the play. Mildred's solid. Do I want the Fatal Pushes? And they're not good except in exactly the Shadow Spear situation, which Meltdown also addresses. But I have to have the Meltdown. And Meltdown is good even when they're not doing Shadow Spear stuff, because I can knock out a bunch of their resources in their Chrome Mox deck. Plague Engineer has Death Touch, in addition to gooping up Goblin lines. It has a little more play to it than Fatal Push does. Okay, I'm trying this. Do I just turn 1 Doomsday them? Probably. Yeah, I'm just going to Ritual Doomsday, make them turn 1 me. Which maybe they can do, I don't know. Let's hope they can't. And I'm going to lead on Blood Crypt, because Blood Crypt before Doomsday is like only taking 1 from it. Because Doomsday from 18 puts me to 9. Doomsday from 20 puts me to 10, and then I go to 8 when I Blood Crypt next turn. Yeah, I'm just letting it rip here on the play. If I can turn 2 Doomsday, I will. We got the didn't see that coming in the chat. Oh yeah, you didn't. Okay, am I dead? If you kept a Urza Saga hand this time, I got you covered. Thoughtseize does not stop this. Could just outrun me. I'm at 9, so they don't even need to storm that hard to kill me with Tendrils. Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, Echo doesn't kill me here because I have 4 cards in hand. But, Tutor does. Okay, you just had me. Fair enough. Oh, Nausea? Why didn't you Burning Wish? I'm just dead. I mean, this works too. It'll get you there. I was dead. There's a Witch Claw Talisman. There's Tendrils with plenty of mana to cast it. Alright. Yep, you did it. I had the turn 2, but you had the turn 1. Good match. On to the next one.
For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out.
I'm on the play in the final round. Finally won a die roll, and it's the worst hand I've seen all day. I am not going to keep this. The Oracle is basically already a mulligan. This hand doesn't do anything, doesn't disrupt. Send it. Hell yeah. Hook this to my veins, though. I'm ready. I won't need 3 Dark Rituals. That's probably too many of that card. Opponent's on 6. Just gonna hit you with the hymn. Badlands, Dark Ritual, Hymn to Tourach. We both start this game on 4 cards, but I chose most of mine. Okay. Fable and Mirror Breaker, Caves of Chaos Adventure hit the bin. There's no mana in that hand, or in those discards. So they are a stompy deck with the ability to still stomp. Mountain Go. Interesting. Alright. I drew a spell I could cast. Double DRC. Let's party. There's 3 card types in my graveyard. Creature and Artifact are the types that are still in my deck. All Sun 1. Alright. That showed up just on time. Well, since my Dark Ritual won't resolve anyway, I should probably upkeep it to get the selection. But what if I draw an actual 2-drop? Nah, it doesn't matter. Dark Ritual in the upkeep. Let's get some selection. Looted Delta into the graveyard. Electrostatic Infantry into the graveyard. Yeah, getting Delirium is more important than having a castable spell next turn. Bash. Opponent's over there rocking the Ancient Tomb mana base. I'm coming for him. Yeah! Turn 3 Goldfish on the play. Good stuff. Okay, Red Stompy. Plague Engineer. Fatal Push. Meltdown, probably Fury. 7 cards in my coming in. Doomsday's risky. It's a good line at just ease dumpstering an opponent. I don't need Tourach. That's an easy cut. On the draw, all these 1-drops. It's specifically Chalice that punishes them. If I cut the whole Doomsday package, I have to beat this deck fair and square on the draw, which I don't know that I can do. If I cut Expedite, Mishra's Bauble, I'm going to map out a Doomsday sideboard cut and a non-Doomsday sideboard cut. Voidwalker doesn't interact meaningfully in this matchup. It attacks and blocks, or it doesn't block. It only attacks. They don't use their graveyard. Maybe Bauble is even better than Voidwalker. Shieldred is always solid. I'm bringing in 3 creatures to replace these 4 creatures I'm boarding out. And I get to keep my cheese out. I think I like this. Oh, this is 59 cards. I even get to keep one of these? Oh, right, because I already boarded out Tourach. I'll keep the Mishra's Bauble, thank you. And Expedite and Voidwalker out. Fury, Fatal Push, Plague Engineer in. And I get to keep my Doomsday combo. Done. Let's go. This hand is... It needs a land. There are 17 of them in the deck, and I have Bauble to redraw, and I can Bauble Fetch to get a closer look. I'm actually going to keep this. The interaction of Fury and Lightning Bolt with 2-drop threats, so I don't get just corned out by Chalice, are all really... They're all draws to keep this risky one. I get to see 4 cards before I miss a land drop. Land, Bauble myself. Thoughtseize on top. I'll fetch for Badlands. And then pass the turn. That removes a land from the deck that I could draw. But it clears the Thoughtseize that I know I don't want. And Doomsday. Uh-oh. That's something. Maybe. Chrome Mox. Let's hope they cast just Rabblemaster this turn. Oh, just Chrome Mox pitching Fury and sent it. Alright. Draw for turn. Please land, please land, please land. Shit. Okay. Dark Ritual Doomsday. Is that the line? I have to spend a turn, but they have to kill me somehow in between. Yeah, Dark Ritual Doomsday. LFG. It's Oracle, 3 Manamorphoses, and I believe a basic Swamp. This is how we do this. Oracle on the bottom, all the Manamorphoses under that, and then Swamp. I can survive with Fury and Lightning Bolt for a turn, and then win on the following turn. If they cast Trinisphere, I concede. I beat Blood Moon, beat Fable, another Chrome Mox. Well, it's go time. Whatever they were waiting for, it's now time to deploy. Blood Moon, yeah, I got that beat. Do you recall this basic Swamp I put right here? I'm just going to hold up Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push. Try not to die, because otherwise I'm good here. 1 card left. No! Alright. Disappointing. That was the 1 card in their deck that beat me. Alright, now I get to have a game on the play. And same deck, I don't think it's getting better. Now they know I'm a Doomsday deck, which makes that a little worse. Ugh, come on, deck. This isn't actually good. I like Thoughtseizing this opponent, but I don't like that my hand doesn't do anything after that. And I'm going to keep it, but I'm not happy about it. They kept 7 with a Leyline of the Void. Okay. I'm going to Bauble them first. That gives me full information when I Thoughtseize. Rabblemaster on top. Don't like that. Thoughtseize you. 3 Chalice of the Voids, huh? Oh, I'll take your land. How about that one? I played one of my 2 0-drops already. Okay, deck, how about a spell to cast? If I can do anything like Shieldred right now, would be great. Manamorphose. I could Manamorphose up a red-black. I think that's the play. Red-black. Oh. And Shieldred. Not bad. Not bad, deck. Paying back that Trinisphere for last turn. Fury isn't enough to kill Shieldred. And they don't have a play at all unless they drew a land. Oh, they got to take 3 just to Chalice here. Good shit. Okay, one of the Chalices is down. Opponent's at 15. I'm about to put them to 11. Oh, I drew Doomsday. What do I do with that? One of my Metamorphoses is already out of the mix. I do have a natural blue source. By Doomsday, though, I go to 10. Is that just inviting death? Could I just bet on Childred to win the game? Will Childred win the game? Do I have a banger that I can put on top of the deck? Because there's only 3 Metamorphoses. There's a turn in between where I have to do something different. Can't cast any 1-drops. Fury? Nope, no red card to go with it. Not enough mana to cast it. What did I board out? Do I have any Tourachs in my deck? Nope, no Tourachs. Meltdown doesn't matter. Plague Engineer. I can put that on top of the Doomsday pile. Did bring that in, right? Yes, okay. I'm going for it. Doomsday. Thassa's Oracle. 3 Metamorphoses. And Plague Engineer. Where are you? There you are. Oracle, the 3 Metamorphoses, then Plague Engineer on top. And I'm at 10. You're at 11. Pass a turn. You're at 9. Chalice on 0. Sure. Chalice on 0, countered by your own Chalice. Good stuff. Storm is 2. Fury. Pitching Rabble Daddy. 1 card left in hand. Is your last card Stomp, or are you just done? All right. We did it. I gotta say, this league, the Doomsday kill came up a whole lot more than it did last league. It was so infrequent and so unreliable in the last league that I actually am only playing 3 Doomsdays. And it's still won more games than attacking did this time. I don't know what to make of that. 10 matches isn't a huge sample size, but that was pretty cool. I boarded out Expedite in every round and didn't cast it, which, I don't know, maybe it's fine that there's a main deck slot that just cycles in the main deck when you're just trying to go fast, and then it becomes a sideboard card when you know exactly what you're doing. Maybe that should just be something else, if that's all it's doing. That could be a Fatal Push or something. It could be a second Tourach. That's definitely a flex slot, and I'm not entirely sure what to do with it. There were spots in the league where I had spells but no creature, and there were spots in the league where I had creatures but no spells. And it's hard to argue that Expedite should be another creature or should be more spells, because you have both. I don't know. This deck does hit hard. It is disruptive with the discard spells. It does have the problem of coming up a little short against decks that are making real decisions versus you just sequencing and hoping Dragon's Rage Channeler comes up with the meltdown. Kind of a tough beat. It's also kind of a tough beat that Tempo Doomsday is just a thing that exists in the format. It's just the full Grixis Delvers situation with Murktide Regents, Force of Will, Daze, and a tight Doomsday package. And this deck is choosing to go in on Manamorphose and Electrostatic Infantry instead of rounding out as a functional legacy deck on all the axes that a functional legacy deck wants to be on. If you want to do this type of thing, I recommend Grixis Tempo Doomsday. Look at the Samantha Murphy special. I played that a while ago on the channel too. You can find a video of it. But if you specifically want to play Rakdos Spellslinger, and this deck is a lot cheaper than Delver, I guess depends on what you mean by a lot, and depends on if you mean relatively, because this deck does have 6 dual lands in it, which are not cheap, but you don't need Force of Wills, Wastelands. I don't know, you give some, you lose some. Maybe it's not that much cheaper. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I take it back. Figuring out how to defeat larger creatures than yours without giving up spell velocity is going to be the secret sauce in this deck. That's the major thing that's missing. I actually think the Voidwalker Tourach, Thoughtseize Hymn to Tourach business is pretty disruptive. I don't like how cold we are on turn 0, but we did play against 2 mono black Artifact Storm decks in this league. That was weird, by the way. Once again, I am reasonably impressed compared to how this looks on paper. It actually does perform and do stuff, puts real pressure on axes where the format is actually played. Once again, it's just a little short of where I'd want it to be. And something about those Expedite slots, there's got to be some card that covers it. Maybe you just want Fatal Push and you expect that or just accept that it's dead sometimes. Further testing will be required to bear that out. if you're interested in this deck, that's where I would start. Play around with those expedite slots. But for me, I am done. Chaznat, thank you for submitting this second run with the deck. I think it feels better than it did the first time. Still needs a little bit more to hit that legacy thing, but this is a totally fine FNM deck. Get after it. Everybody, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Patreon in the video description, and I'll see you next time.